I grew up on Hollywood and Western, which is kind of a well-documented area because it was Bukowski's safe haven, where he would sort of roam around and write. My father would also carry me around in a crib and run into Bukowski. But it was a kind of my parents both came from New York, and they had this postcard image of utopian Los Angeles and Hollywood, and then we kind of moved into the mecca of prostitution and drug addicts. So that's where I grew up, and then later on moved to Silver Lake and Los Feliz for a long period of time after that. But yeah, I'm from LA, born and raised here, but as I've said many times before, I never felt like I was a part of the Hollywood system. Mm-hmm. I always felt like this weird outsider. And I think that if it weren't for the fact that I had a mother that really took the time to listen to a kid that said, you know, I want to do this for a living. This is what I know I want to do. This is my passion. You know, a 10, 11-year-old kid. If it hadn't been for her taking me to auditions and the sheer proximity of going to a school that accepted me in Beverly Hills, and then being able to drive to the Valley or drive to, you know, Hollywood on the way back from school, I probably wouldn't be doing this for a living because, you know, if I lived in any other location, I don't think my dream would have been a possibility.
It might have happened. It might have just taken a little bit longer.
Well, you know, I think, to tell you the truth, I think that, you know, it's a combination of, you know, being in the right place at the right time and being prepared for it and being aggressive about it and sticking with it. You know, I don't know. I mean, I'd done a lot of television and commercials before then, but it was really this one role that launched my career, and that was This Boy's Life. You know, that was the truth of the matter. I was at the right place at the right time and aggressively going out on auditions.
When did you know you wanted to be an actor? I mean, you started at such a young age. Did you think of it as a career, or were you having fun? Like I said, I always felt like an outsider because I knew of people, you know, that were in the industry. I just didn't know how to get into it. And I remember going to cast different agents when I was 9 or 10 years old. I was rejected twice. I remember there was like this sort of cattle call of kids, and I lined up. It was like a prison photo or something like that. And I'm standing there like this, and I had this crazy breakdancing haircut from when I was breakdancing, and I kind of dressed in hip hop clothing. And I remember they went yes, yes, went to me, went nope, yes, yes, nope, yes, wow.
Yes, and that was it. So I got rejected a couple times. And then I just kept asking and asking and asking. And I remember my dad saying, just stick with it. Someday you'll have your day. And then I came back, I think, 2 years later and finally got an agent, Harry Gold with Bonnie Leike. Bonnie Leike was my first agent.
And I know you started doing commercials and TV appearances like Santa Barbara and Parenthood, the first time around they did Parenthood. Was it a lot of on-the-job training, or had you taken any classes?
Well, my favorite class was drama school, drama class in high school. I was, you know, it was the only thing I did exceedingly well in. Everything else I was pretty mediocre in, except for biology. I was pretty good in that. But yeah, I mean, my first job was living with a parent who takes drugs, which was an educational kind of after-school thing. And then I got a commercial for Matchbox cars where I played a little gangster and opened a Matchbox set and raced this other kid, and I couldn't believe I got that job. I was excited from that point on. I was like, this, if I could do this for a living, if I seriously can get paid for this, and this is a possibility, let's go for it. Let's just keep being aggressive and do it.
I mean, auditioning at any age is a cruel process.
Horrible. It's the worst.
What's it like as a kid? I mean, how do you handle that rejection?
You know, it's interesting because I remember, you know, you're sort of set up and you're put into this system where I think that you're supposed to be a jack of all trades, and you're 11, 12 years old, and you're sort of conditioned to say, well, you know, the casting director's there and say, well, can you juggle? And you're like, absolutely I can juggle, you know. You know, can you ski? Hell yeah, you know, I'm your man, you know, I'll do whatever you want, you know. Little